What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Had another Yojo June, and I want to hop on here real fast before I jump over to Lyles Movie Files later on at 8 o'clock. But with more G.I. Joe news, we had to talk about it. So I figured, why not do another live? And as you can see, I'm rocking my John Cena themed G.I. Joe shirt. Pretty cool. You see here on the side, earn the day. And on the back, I'll have to show you later, but it looks cool. It's got all these different incarnations of Cena in his different career with the infamous G.I. Joe explosion box, just like a card back from all those G.I. Joes back in the day. What's going on with everybody here on the live stream? What's up, Bobby Eldridge? Yo, Joe! And 80s kids from the 90s, what's up? Yo, Joe! I'm hoping we get a classified heavy duty in General Hawk. General Hawk is actually slated to get a figure. Hasbro made the distinction that it is General Hawk, not Colonel Hawk from the very first G.I. Joe series. So we'll see him, I'm assuming, before the end of the month. And I cannot wait to see what they do because that figure looks really good. Just the design of General Hawk. So I can't wait to see what Hasbro does implementing him for 2023 6-inch figure line. Kidred, 1998, what's going on? Hey, I don't know if you've heard, but I saw on YouTube that for the classified line, they're doing the October Guard. That's the October Guard, you're right. The Russian version of G.I. Joe. I figure it looks like a fake. The figure has like Lady J legs. I think that's what you're saying. But so I want to make sure I was on top of this for you and pulling out this picture of the my guys. They're so cool. The October Guard, for those of you who don't know, Russian counterparts, the G.I. Joe team. So we have all around Horror Show, Stormback Shrag, Dragon, Brekoff, and Dana Stormback. Dragonsky, that was his name. I knew it wasn't Dragonfly. I was like, wait a second. But according to our dear friends over at Entertainment Earth, on the June 21st drop on their drop zone, they have listed, hey, it's Yojo June. Are we going to tell you what it is? No, but you can speculate. Maybe it's Joe. Maybe it's Cobra. Could it be the October Guard? Ain't telling. So there is some credence to this rumor. Maybe they are going to show one member of the October Guard. Like you said, I think Dana would work pretty well off that Lady J mold. They wouldn't even have to do a whole lot. Just give her a new head sculpt and give her some accessories, some gear fitting for her. So she could be an easy one. I think Colonel Brekoff would be another one they'd want to throw in early, maybe Horror Show as well. But I think there's an avenue and tons of interest from G.I. Joe fans to get October Guard in the mix. They're already doing some more modern Joes, so I would not be shocked or surprised to see them. And also that Entertainment Earth hint would suggest something that we haven't seen before. Nobody's mentioned October Guard, not Lenny, not Emily during these live streams. So maybe this is a bam. Here's a crazy surprise you guys didn't see coming, much like Quicksilver. So let's see here. What else are you guys saying in the chat? Skew Raider, what's going on? Shirt is fire. I saw this shirt and I was like, I must absolutely get this. John Cena is my favorite of these modern day WWE guys. So I was like, yes, Cena, G.I. Joe, sign me up. And was like, this is the first WWE shirt I've gotten in many, many years, like so many years. I didn't even get a DX shirt, but I had to get this one because it was awesome. What is up, Blake? How you doing out there, man? How many Cobra eels are you ordering? That would mean I would be able to get them because those suckers sold out with a quickness. But I intend to get a whole bunch because Cobra eels are right up there for me with the snow serpents, the Crimson Guard, the Bat, the Alley Vipers. We've got most of those. So Cobra eels, I'm all for it. I need torpedo, wetsuit, deep six, shipwreck to be totally outgunned by all the Cobra eels swimming around in the bathtub. I mean the ocean, whatever. Omega 579. Yo, what's going on? So Ski Raider says it's a con exclusive custom package figure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we can see that. I wouldn't be shocked if we see them. Ski Raider, Dana, right? Dana. I hope I've been saying Dana. Yes. How cool does Tunnel Rat look? Very, very cool. 0000. Yo, Joe. Savage Lamb, what's going on, brother? General Hawk has the potential to be a rock star. He has a great look. He really does. I feel like if they go as hard as they've gone with so many of these other classified series figures, General Hawk could be really great. And I feel like he's definitely a candidate for a different hair sculpt where they give him the blonde flat top like he had in the comic books and give him that other one like we've seen with Shipwreck. I don't even know if they need to distinguish too much from that version. Whatever they do, it needs to be able to have that helmet go on top too, because Hawk had a really cool look. And he was one of my first ones from that fifth wave of Joes that I needed to get because I loved his design. I got him, got Dial Tone. Who was the third one I got? I know it was Low Light. So I got those three at once. I was like, these look cool. I need them in the collection right away. And then I got Wetsuit right after that. Ski Raider. Yeah, that Jaina figure is from a Cali area con. Starduster was a previous box custom figure mass produced. Same con source. Interesting. That'll be fun. I really like to see the October Guard. Are the October Guard friends or allies to the G.I. Joes? So, interesting question you asked, because the October Guard has been friendly with the Joes. They have gone against the Joes. It just depends on the situation and the scenario. Now, their very first introduction was in G.I. Joe issue 6, and that was featured one of the all-time best covers of G.I. Joe. Let me pull it up for you so you can see it and really appreciate how awesome this cover was, because it was really great. Okay, so here it is. And it features the Joes on one side and the October Guard and the other, Cobra Commander circling, seeing everything. And this is kind of how that issue plays out. The Joes, the October Guard are both trying to get atop of Cobra Commander and Cobra before they intercept these different microchips. I believe that's what it was. Anyway, it's a two-part issue, and it's really, really good. So the first half is the Joes fighting October Guard. The second part, they reluctantly team up, and they're really, because keep in mind, when this comic came out, it was the midst of the 80s version of the Cold War. So it was all Russia bad, USA great, Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov versus Hulk Hogan, the whole deal. So this was played out really well in the comic book, and this gave me such a great appreciation for the October Guard. Really great characters. So I, like I said, would really love to see them in figure form. And again, this is one from G.I. Joe Volume 1. It's definitely worth reading. I recommend all the G.I. Joe run from Larry Hama at Marvel Comics, then IDW. And if you guys heard the big news, Skybound now has the G.I. Joe and Transformers license. This new book that dropped today starts that crossover by Robert Kirkman. So can't wait. So excited. Daniel Warren Johnson is going to be doing issues, and Johnson did this Dual Power Bomb. If you're into wrestling and comic books, you really have to pick that book up. It's fantastic. I'm really excited that he's going to be doing it. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be really great. Oops. Okay. Sorry. Got too excited talking about all that. Let's see here. So where'd I go in my chat here? 80s kid from the 90s. I got Falcon. I'm reviewing it Tuesday. Can't wait to get my first classified figure. I think Falcon is going to be a very interesting first classified series figure for you. I feel like he's going to be here and every other figure is going to be up. So maybe you chose the best one to go first. James Green, what's going on? 13 Sharks, 77 Mac, Cobra Eels. Yes. Yeah, Eels sold out quick. I'm hoping to get one. Yeah, because normally if you have that Pulse Premium membership, it's like 1 o'clock. And I think like 1:05. I was like, oh yeah, I should check. Sold out, done, no chance. And they have a limited amount of their exclusive partnership deals. This was going to Amazon. And then at 2 o'clock when it dropped on Amazon, they were like, Cobra Eel, what? So that came so fast. It's so quick. It's crazy. If you're a fan of wrestling, if you've seen the show Dark Side of the Ring, I am a fan of wrestling and I've not watched these episodes yet. But, and some of that is because I've read too much of guys like Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Jake the Snake, and New Jack, where I feel like, what are they going to tell me different than this? But I do plan on watching some of these shows. I heard they did a Magnum TA. It didn't have Tully Blanchard, so I'm kind of confused how you could do a Magnum career retrospective. But I think I did see a little clip with Nikita Koloff in it. Tony Schiavone, I take the USA title in Magnum TA. So yeah, I'm kind of watching to see what's going on with it. James Green, I'm so happy to see the Eels. Mad about the limited to 1. Now that's crazy. Yeah, we should talk about that because I feel like if you're going to do army builders, you need to make army builders easily accessible to everyone. Just everyone wants to army builders. And that doesn't mean we want crimson eels that we can get as many as we want. We want the default original ones plentiful. So we can say, okay, no more. Not a situation of, all right, you guys are capped off at 1 or 2. No, let us decide that. Eels are coming in and out intermittently on Amazon. Just snagged one an hour ago. Thank you for that heads up. So I can continue to be on the lookout for them. John Cena should have been a Joe figure a while ago. I know, he seems like such an obvious choice. I mean, you can put him with a shirt and, put a little machine gun clip on him. I mean, he's basically a G.I. Joe in real life. So I don't know what's going on. Nolan, what's up? You're a fan of the October Guard too. I feel like there's the October Guard, then there's every other sub team in the G.I. Joe, Cobra mythos, maybe Iron Grenadier, Destro's crew, a distant second, but for me, it's the October Guard all the way. That annual or yearbook number 2 story cemented the October Guard is one of the best factions going around in any comic book, especially when they're kind of tweeners. They fight the good guys, they fight the bad guys. In that yearbook issue 2, they took on Cobra, and it was really, really good. I won't spoil the payoff if anyone has not read it yet, but such a good story. Definitely worth checking out. You got that comic? Yeah, it was really cool. All right, we got Desert Snake Eyes with 2 katana swords. I wonder if we'll get a classy looking Snake Eyes with the 2 swords. They're not going to resist any opportunity to put more Snake Eyes figures out. I mean, we just know that. Roger Dodger, what's going on? 52 away from the reveal and counting is this message on HasLab Dragonfly. So close. I'm really shocked. I thought we were going to be there by this point, but we're kind of slacking off with that. Let's take a look at the progress of the HasLab G.I. Joe Dragonfly. Right now, it is 12,946 backers. It's really getting there. And I'm kind of like, all right, let's go. I wonder if that first tier offering was airborne, how fast it would have gone forward. I feel like we would have seen the second tier by now if it was something that wasn't a variant, or if it was just regular colored, regular camo ripcord, if we had already seen that crossover to the next tier and whatever that would be. What do y'all think about the Valiverse vehicle and the prices? I think the Valiverse tank, I think it was called a Rasmus tank or whatever, it looked really impressive. And that price tag of under 200 is even more impressive. They had all kinds of effect pieces. I think it's really good. I'm still trying to figure out which Valiverse figure to go for, because I want to find out this backstory, because that's what sucked me into G.I. Joe, reading the comic books, then seeing the figures, then watching the cartoon. I was all into it. So I want to know where to start, where I need to get my origin of Valiverse. 50 and counting. It's almost there. Sean Washington, what's going on? Continue with the fantastic channel. Thank you. The Cobra Eels look great. Why do they continue to make an army builder exclusive? I don't know. I mean, this has gone on since basically the start of the line. We had the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper, and that was weird. Then we had the other Cobra Viper, which was another Target exclusive set, and was like, why do we keep going through this? And then it seemed like they finally figured out how to work the army builders with the Bat and the Vipers themselves, the basic ones, or the Alley Vipers, not the basic Viper, the Alley Vipers and the Bat. And they were so easy to find, and it was so easy to mass an army of those guys and still kind of go, ooh, can I use more? Yeah, I can take some more. So I don't know what the deal is. I feel like they should understand, if there's one blind spot that they have, is that as long as you keep the army builders in rotation, there are going to be folks like me who will continue to buy them on a whim of, hey, I need $24 to get my free shipping or whatever. I'll add another army builder Bat or a Cobra Trooper or any Cobra Grunt. I'll take it. Kidder. People have said that the Alley Viper's visor pegs on the side of the Fig's head break. That's what I've heard. I had no problem. I have 6 Alley Vipers, and I don't have them on a shelf right now. I kind of have them in a pile. So as I pull out my Joes to take photos, I haven't had any issues. And normally, if there were some issues with quality control like that, I would have had one, especially with all the army builder versions that I have of the Alley Viper. So maybe your friends or what you're seeing online is just they got a really bad batch of them or whatever, but I haven't had any issues with mine. Savage Land. I picked up some Cobra eels from Amazon. They sold out, but I'm pretty sure they will come back on Amazon periodically at first and then permanently. I see it with all the Amazon exclusives. Yeah, that's true. I mean, because these have Marvel Legends, Gore the God Butcher, he was in and out of stock, and then eventually they can't give him away right now. But I think a lot of us are just waiting for him to drop in price because he was not worth $33. 80s kid from the 90s. I rented the animated movie from my local library for a second watch. Oh my gosh, that's amazing because I feel like I've watched that movie conservatively probably 70 times. And for you to just watch it a second time, I feel like you're gonna watch it like you're watching it all over again. Although when I watch it, I'm saying too much of the dialogue to act like I've seen it for the first time, but I still really enjoy it. And that to me is still my favorite opening for basically any movie because it's just wild. Doc Avenger, you can't find the eels on Amazon. What's up? Well, let's see what's up. Let's see if I can find them right now because I feel like it was a real issue earlier because when it was time for them to go up, there were no Cobra eels to be found, just that snake eyes. I was like, what's happening? All right, so let me see here. Doing a basic search for Cobra eels did not result in much of anything. Let's go on so you guys can take this fun journey through Amazon with me. All right, so yeah, so here's our Cobra Trooper, Cobra Infantry. That's the basic army builder version, $36. That's still expensive. $89 for the Cobra Viper 3-pack. All right, let's see. That didn't work with a basic one. Let's see newest arrivals. If we have any more success there. No, not at all. This is terrible. See, I feel like this should be a lot easier than, hey, can I find it? Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. And it's no go. So far, it looks like they vanished again from the site. And that is not great because you'd want to be able to get these guys pretty soon, right away, with no issue. You can see on the site, they got Tunnel Rat, they've got Desert Commando Snake Eyes, but no Cobra eels. What's up with that? When do we get a better Duke and Scarlet? Not soon enough. Although I won't complain about the Duke we have, I definitely think we need a new Scarlet one. Maybe even using the head sculpt from the Snake Eyes Origins G.I. Joe movie Fiasco, where it was a fine movie as long as it didn't have any reference of anything G.I. Joe. Like if the copyright lawyers came through and said, you must remove all traces of G.I. Joe. It would have been a fine action movie. But because it was tied to Snake Eyes, not so good. Hey, these kids from the 90s suite still enjoy watching those. Yeah, they're really fun. They have a timeless quality to the chicken just pop in, get taken back to the old school, and still enjoy it. Omega 579. Maybe people low on funds want to see that Marvel HasLab so they can decide which to get. Well, I think on that end, there's going to be a break because there's going to be that Star Wars HasLab. So there's going to be that San Diego Comic-Con reveal, and typically they last about 45 days. So that's going to stretch us probably a little bit into September, right up on September. So people will have enough time to kind of hopefully stack their money up from back in the G.I. Joe HasLab before it gets to the Marvel one. Because what is that? You'd have about 90 days all told before it was time to, for that last day of the Marvel HasLab to back it, unless they do an early bird and mess everybody up. Can anyone tell me the call sign? We need it. JT the Grind. What's going on, buddy? We need another beachhead. Yeah, I would be happy with him because now that I'm like shifting in and out, taking different Joe's photos and mixing them up with the newer releases like Stalker and Heavy Artillery Roadblock and the new retro version Gung Ho, I'm looking at these early first few waves and kind of like, yeah, I could use a better version of Roadblock version 2. Definitely could use a better version of Scarlet. And I wouldn't mind getting a better version of version 2 Ninja Snake Eyes, more of a bodysuit version like we had with that original figure. So he'd sneakily be a candidate for a retro figure for me too. Kendrick, what's the name of the G.I. Joe show where Destro and Zoran are in a romantic relationship? I know you have that sci-fi armored Cobra Commander in that show. Yeah, that was Operation Dragonfly, which was that one miniseries was kind of fun. I rewatched that on YouTube recently, and surprisingly, it wasn't bad. But the rest of it kind of goes downhill real quick, where it's like, what happened? This is a disaster, and I need to stop watching this. Let me see here if it'll just pop up really helpful. Yeah. Okay, I won't do that. So you can find it on YouTube and watch it. It basically brings Cobra Commander back from a snake and he becomes once again a man. And so we can see him back in his armor. It's really cool. I still think the comic book version of that, where Cobra Commander is in the armor, is a really great story. So if you have the option, check that out because it's a lot of fun. James Green, that new Snake Eyes is different. I pre-ordered him today. I know. I was so determined, like, what are you guys doing? I don't need a stupid desert variant of Snake Eyes. That's just absurd. No chance. No chance at all. I won't be doing it. And then, listening to Lenny, he's all hyped up and he's talking about it. And he's like, oh man, we need to have somebody hanging out with Dusty in these desert scenarios. I'm looking at the color scheme, but that polarized visor. I see how they've done the grenades. The straps look a little bit different, a little cooler. And they've got the sword. I'm like, darn it, you guys are actually going to get me interested in this stupid variant of Desert Commando Snake Eyes. I didn't mention this earlier, but what Viper is this hanging out in the background? Is this a Crimson Viper? I don't think we've seen this one yet, but he's definitely rocking the Crimson Guard color scheme. So it looks like that's another Crimson variant that we haven't seen in here. But that's really cool to see that figure. And all these different colors, these different shades of brown, just kind of like, do I want this figure? But I kind of think I do. I don't know why, because when it was announced, it said, you're wasting it. There's so many other better variants of Snake Eyes to go with. We don't have version 3, we don't have version 4, all those different cool combinations of Snake Eyes. But somehow, some reason, this is really appealing to me now. And there was these cool shots from Shooting the Galaxy, who always makes these Joe figures, Star Wars figures look amazing. But I don't know. I was really like, I'm not doing this. And now all of a sudden, I'm kind of like, yeah, I think I need to get this. And as 80s Kid from the 90s mentioned, there's 2 katana blades with him. This one has this really cool little orange stripe running along it. You see the Arashikage signal right there. He's got his little knife there. Hopefully it fits in better in the sheath. He's got his grenades slung over a backpack. And this is that old original body. I don't know if I wouldn't have minded them using a retro Snake Eyes body for this instead, but maybe there's a better use for it. So when I get that retro Snake Eyes for version 2 Ninja version, I can swap out this body and just have this be the Desert Commando Snake Eyes look. So I'm really surprised how much I think that looks cool, but I think I'm actually going to get it. 80s Kids from the 90s, classified as vehicles, Legends as vehicles, and Lightning Collection as vehicles. The Black Series is the only one that doesn't. What gives? Their vehicles are too big for that. I think they've kind of done most of the smaller ones. We got the Land Speeder, we got the Snow Speeder, and those are not little at all. So I don't know what else they could really do. I mean, we got Speeder Bikes from them too, but I don't know where else they could go with that. Blake, you won today. I was lucky enough to snag 1 eel from Amazon. Congratulations, sir. I am waiting to get mine. And like I said, I'm probably going to get 5 or 6 or 10, depending on how all shapes out. I really wish they had a retail partner, though, because I'd really love to just be able to walk into a Target or even a Walmart and go, oh, look, there's some eels. I'll grab a few. Ski Raider, congrats. We're going to keep trying. Yeah, we are. Daniel Ruiz, probably. Hey, don't be so formal, it's Jeffrey. How are you? I'm fine. Went to Target last night and sold a whole Guardians of the Galaxy away for $12 each. Nice. Man, this was the last one I needed, and I used my rewards and got her for $8. Patience. What's crazy is I've already started to see some of them for $8. Like, I think it's $6.49. So they've even dropped further than that 12. When Yondu hits for that $12 price point, I'm going to jump. I don't care if he gets cheaper. That figure looks really great, and I keep going every time I go to Target, taking a Yondu, taking it to the price scanner, and seeing still full price. But I'm really hoping to find him, and congratulations to all of you out there who are tracking down those Guardians and finding them on cheaper clearance prices. Cater 1998 for the G.I. Joe show movie. I think later on down the line, they will make a Pythona, Globulus, and Nemesis Enforcers a 3-pack. It would have to be later on, like very later on. I feel like they could do whatever. I think maybe that would make for a really cool exclusive, like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, doing Nemesis Enforcer. And the Royal Guard, I kind of thought I would love an army builder pack. Maybe if they pack them 3 to a set where we don't have like the original where we had the Royal Guard, we had Globulus, we had Nemesis Enforcer. We could just have one with just the Royal Guard so we could just army build them really quickly. Like that would be something. I don't need a Royal Guard officer, just 3 straight generic grunts. Brian Fife, I have the link. It says unavailable. Yeah, it's not fun. I don't know what they're doing with it right now. What's your thoughts on that Desert Commando Snake Eyes? I personally love it. Bobby, like I said, man, I was so like when I saw it earlier yesterday on social media, like, what in the world? There's so many real Snake Eyes variants that they should be doing. And if they've got to go back to Snake Eyes that well, because he's their Batman, he's their Spider-Man, Wolverine, Deadpool, Harley Quinn, etc. But I'm like, why are we doing this random out of the sky version? And the color schemes were so great. I was like, well, I guess I'm getting a Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Nolan, so need Nemesis Enforcer. Yeah, I kind of feel like I have a little Cobra la 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 shelf over on that side, and maybe have Serpentor in the middle with them. But I need my old school Cobra Commander leading his Cobra Troopers, the Crimson Guard, and all those guys too. I'm getting Slaughter next. 80s kid from the 90s. I do not think you're going to be disappointed with Sergeant Slaughter. Really fantastic figure. He's got great accessories too, including the mini Sergeant Slaughter action figure. Skew Raider, I'm sorry, Nolan agrees with me. Slaughter's a great figure. They did a tremendous job with that fig. He is, and he was one of those figures that I was like, oh wow, you're actually getting to him? Because originally when there was no hope, no thought of getting a Sergeant Slaughter in a classified series line, I think a lot of us were like, well, does that Mattel Ultimate Edition Sergeant Slaughter work at all? Does the Elite version work? He was a little too tall, a little too big, just did not work. So finally being able to have a Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter was so cool. I don't know how much longer they've got the license with Sergeant Slaughter for, but I definitely want to get one for the Triple T tank, have that look and figure for him, because that would be really cool and really awesome. Kidred, I heard at one point that San Diego Comic-Con was going to have a G.I. Joe Classified convention exclusive of Cold Slither. That was a rumor that was going around for a while. I think so, but I think now the popular rumor on what that Comic-Con exclusive is some Crimson 3-pack of Baroness and Tomax and Zaymont in red Crimson attire. Like I said, I don't really care about Tomax and Zaymont rocking all red. Baroness might be more interesting though, just because she rocks around. She had the blue. She had a dark jet black with leather and black, and maybe red would look cool. But whatever they do with Baroness, they're going to need to give her a new body, because they can't use that old, let's start out with the line, figure out what we can do, because she needs double jointed elbows, the whole works, and she's going to need a new mold whenever they get around to doing another Baroness figure. Jeff W. Nice first name. Eel was up on Amazon, sold out, was back, and then sold out again. Heroes Return. This is the same pattern with Amazon. We got to get everybody hyped up and excited and wondering if we're ever going to get those figures again. Kelly Cox, what's up? I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. Roberts, Infinite Realms. What's going on? Peanut butter toffee Snake Eyes is now a thing. And it's apparently going to be a thing in my collection. And I'm almost a little disappointed in myself, but it's a cool looking color scheme. And I think if they do more Desert Troopers, especially Dusty in his version 2 look, I'm going to be really excited. I'm going to pair him with this Desert Commando Snake Eyes. And now I'm already trying to figure out what other Joes would make a lot of sense going in the desert with Dusty. Maybe Desert Commando version or Desert Environmentalist Specialist Airtight Footloose. Those guys seem like they would fit in pretty well as well. So yeah. Should they have made a Desert Cobra Trooper? Oh gosh, don't do that, Blake. No, I'm not going to get another version of that Cobra Trooper, but that would be cool. But those Sand Scorpions they did were really cool looking Cobras, and they were fun looking group, and I would be happy to get those figures in my collection too. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a look. And they did some really cool ones in the 25th anniversary line too. So actually, there's quite a few Desert Troops they could do with Cobra. That would be really fun. And let's see. Let me pop it up so you all can see. The 1991 Desert Scorpion Cobra Desert Trooper. Now, this was a really cool looking figure, and it had really cool, it had a pet scorpion. So, like every other Joe had some vehicle or pet, this one had a really cool one. And the Desert Trooper just looks cool. I mean, this whole design looks great. The color scheme. I mean, you gotta get this guy at some point in the line, right? And this would be a really great opportunity to start this because this would be an easy army build. Let's throw him in here. Let's get a bunch of them. And let me see if I can find the Valor versus Venom version because that was also really cool. I think that was Valor versus Venom. We're doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The Sand Scorpion. Why can I not find that from our friends? All right, let's see this. It was a really cool one. And I was trying to see if I could pull it up. Huh. All right. Let's do this so you all can see. So I'm not sounding like I'm babbling around. All right. So this is what the Sand Scorpion looked like. And this was really cool. And this guy was just had such a crazy look. And you can see his scorpions rocking on the back here. And that was really neat too. So you can throw it off and go after the Joes. I would love this one as another desert Cobra Trooper as well. So if they're gonna go in the desert, now that I've got the snow serpent coming, got the eel, I think we can move on to the desert, and that would be another fun environment. And unlike the snow, I don't have to worry about great weather, great snowy weather to take them out. I can find a patch of dirt to run around and put my Cobra Desert Troopers fighting Dusty and Desert Commando Snake Eyes. So that'd be kind of fun. I'm actually thinking that would be more interesting than when I initially saw Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Robert's Infinite Realms. We saw a Crimson Viper render, I think last week or the week before. Thank you for reminding me. Doc Avenger. This is an easy pass for me. That's kind of what I was thinking at first. Maybe when you see it in hand, you might change your mind. But I know I was like you, like, why? We need so many more Joes. Why are we going to a random variant of Snake Eyes? The Savage Land. That Snake Eyes is fire. And it makes you say, why? I just had to admit I'm a Snake Eyes variant collector. No. Now, I feel like the only version of Snake Eyes I won't get at this point is Crimson variant Snake Eyes. That's where it's going to be done. Jarhead. He's got some abs. He does. And I know he's been working out doing his ninja training, kind of getting ready for that rematch with Storm Shadow. Blake, wondering if the Desert Snake Eyes can swap heads with Dusty. That's an interesting point. That'd be fun too, throwing him out there like that. Joe drops are fire, Ski Raider says. Valorverse drops are fire. Loving it. Yeah, I feel like it's a really great time to be into these lines in a line like Valorverse, which is very complimentary to G.I. Joe. So lots of cool options for us. Nolan probably won't get a stun, but wants to at least get the stun driver. And I feel like we've talked about that, but I don't know if the Cobra stun is really that hard to see in a line. I feel like it's not as big as maybe we think in terms of the footprint it would take on retail shelves and how much space they really need for it. I mean, this is kind of like the scale. So you can see how big it is. There's one figure right there. There's another one here. The driver. I think they could make that work. And then you've got two in the cockpit section there with the guns. I don't think that has to be the biggest Joe vehicle or Cobra vehicle in this case. I think if we're getting a his tank, that could work. Maybe they have to do it as a HasLab, but I think with the way things are going, they can experiment and do a lot more vehicles. Maybe this is a Pulse exclusive and not necessarily going all the way to a HasLab price tag. Big Rib, what's up? Oh, guys, I'm not the Lyles Law Firm. What's up? Never had a chance either, Cobra Eel. I know. I think a lot of you guys have calmed me down, so I don't have to worry and not think, oh man, I'm never going to get a Cobra Eel. I'm just going to have to be patient. And unfortunately, because it's going to be an Amazon exclusive, not be able to enjoy that benefit of having a sale because Amazon never has sales. But yeah, it's going to be a mess. $12? What's $12, 80s kid? Robert's Infinite Realms. Being serious for once. I wish the Snake Eyes came with two suppressors for both guns like the 3 and 3/4 one had. One version, at least I know. I thought he did. I thought the retro or the one with Timber had that. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Kendrick. Well, actually, they did a miracle from the Star Wars Black Series line, but it's from the Star Wars The Force Awakens. It was a first order TIE fighter. Didn't sell because they're like asked for like 100 something dollars. It did not. But if you waited that out, because this was an early Target will clearing stuff out lesson, I got it for like 45 or 49.99. And for that price, I was like, grab it. It was only one on the shelf because I probably would have been like walking around Target like this, carrying multiple TIE fighters. I still need to get my black spray paint and get rid of all that first order garbage off of it, but I got a TIE fighter. Kelly wants to know, is there any word on the armored Cobra Commander? That is a must for me. We haven't heard a lot of pipeline reveals so far in Yojo June. We've got 2 more weeks of pre-orders to come, but we haven't heard any new announcements of figures. So that's definitely something that would be on the realm to look out for. So I'd love to see that outfit, that costume, and to see what they do to implement it. I wonder if they're kind of doing more of a classic area of Cobra before they get into Armored Cobra Commander, Iron Grenadier, Destro, Raptor, Crystal Ball, the whole, wacky versions of Joes and Cobras. Doc Avenger, I'm in New York and there are never any Target sales. That sucks. Are you able to just go online and have them shipped to your store? That may be an option if your Targets aren't trying to play fair with you in their stores. Big Rib, this new Snake Eyes looks different enough to use a different character figure pre-order. Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe I would call him Throwdown, like the IDW version, the second edition of Snake Eyes. They just say this is Snake Eyes' people, Wade's son, who's now learned how to be a commando and he's in the desert. Or maybe I'll just say this is Billy rocking his attire. I don't know. Kidred, with the G.I. Joe's classified line, I'm only getting 5 members for my Tiger Force team. And I used Outback Tiger Force as the leader and is a good figure. I also have Rakondo and Bazooka. So what are the other 2 you're going to use? Is that going to be Tiger Force Duke? Tiger Force Flint, I assume, is going to be coming. And we got Tiger Force Dusty already en route to us. 80s Kid from the 90s says Big Ben looks awesome. He does. And he's a Night Force figure, so I don't feel too bad about what they could do. And I think I trashed my list, but I'm pretty sure Tunnel Rat has a Night Force version as well. And I know there were some issues about his paint job. So let's just pull that up now so we can break down all that good stuff from him. So let me go, because we mentioned it. Let's take one last look at Desert Commando Snake Eyes. And that shot looks great. I don't know why, but this figure really looks cool. And I want it, in the words of Gollum. So here's Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Rat looks really cool. I love all this gear he's got. He's got the handgun. He's got the removable detachable flashlights. And those are really cool because if he's running around in tunnels, he can shine a light while he's crawling. He's got his big machine gun. It's got the bipod there, so he can flip that up. That's a nice deal. And I'm not sure if these clips are coming out here or not, but that's a nice touch as well. He's got the satchel. He's got that night visor piece there so you can see all that. He's got his smaller knife right there. And I think this is a C4, the holster for this handgun. Now he's got some new additions with these knee pads. And I think those make sense because if he's crawling around in tunnels, he kind of needs that. I'm surprised, but I'm glad they didn't add this. I figured they might have thrown in some elbow pads as well, since it's the same kind of concept. But I'm glad they opted not to worry with those. So this is a nice close-up. You can see this head sculpt's really well done. And it's got the handkerchief piece. And it looks like this is going to hang a lot better than the one that Falcon had. He's still got the GoPro. And I love to see that they're still incorporating that design into these modern figures. I know people were like, let's just stick to the old school RH designs. But there's a nice modern take to throw in there as well. And then this is all the gear fully removed and detached from him, and a really good head sculpt. Like I mentioned earlier, he looks focused. He's got his face paint looking a little bit better than that original version of Dusty. And these should be black, but I'm okay with them being gray because it's not too big a difference to me. But I really like this. Here are the glamour shots, and this looks really cool. And you can see that this clip does come out, so that's great. So you can throw that in and out of him and out in the gun. That's really cool. And then We got a little close up him holding the flashlight. And if you look really closely, you can see what might be the zombie viper in the background doing the slow crawl over there, like, oh, brains. I love those toxic zombie vipers. I thought they were really well done. Maybe these are just the old school versions with a little modification, but I like the look of that tunnel rat coming into the tunnel. Really cool. And he's firing away. And then you see more of them in the background. Tunnel rat's still ready, but is he really ready for the zombie vipers coming in his direction? I love those, and I can't wait to see if we actually do get those revealed here very soon. Frustrated fan sports show was a little let down by the tunnel rat figure. I could have sworn he was a lot cooler looking. What did you want to see with that figure? What was off for you with tunnel rat? Because I thought they did a really good job incorporating that old school look for him and modernizing him for the new era without changing too much of his look that made him so popular with G.I. Joe fans back in the day. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up this old figure and see if there was much difference between this one and the old one. But I kind of feel like outside of Black Pants, which I did mention, and I feel like that is one thing that is very different from this new one. That's kind of what we got here. I mean, they didn't even really change the face paint at all. Maybe we're missing that big TNT labeled pouch there, but I don't know. I mean, this is designed off of Larry Hama. It's his tribute figure within the line, but I don't know. I don't see if there's anything really missing with that figure. I think they did a great job modernizing him and incorporating all those elements to the figure, adding the knee pads, but I don't know. Let me know what's wrong with that figure for you. Don't laugh, but I got that SummerSlam Hulk Hogan put in with my jokes. That Hulk Hogan looks wild. And how does he scale with them? Because I knew when I saw that figure, I was like, oh, that's really great. That's a cool Hulk Hogan figure to fit in with a military theme. And it's kind of a cool look for him, really unique. And wait, the SummerSlam, not the Elite 96. Yes, with the gas mask and the whole works. Really cool looking figure. Wait a second. How did this even happen? And how was I not aware that this figure was actually in stock? No, it's sort of in stock. It's sold out on Target. Okay. And it's shipping through Ringside Collectibles. So I haven't actually missed this release at Target itself. But yeah, this is a cool looking figure. Love the camo. I think they did a really nice job with that. Hogan's got that intense psycho killer face. And the gas mask looks really great too. But so I'm not mad at you. I think that was a fun one. Ryan Daly, what's going on, bud? What's up, man? Got 3 eels ordered today, and I picked up Ultron from the Quantum Mania weight. Where did you find him? Is he on Amazon? Desert Troops, Roadblock, yes. Duke, Tunnel Rat, yep. Those would be good choices, too. Ski Raider, Yellow Cake, Snake Eyes is next. Don't drop him, please. Don't drop him. Dave Chappelle, I'm rich. Kidrick, Dr. Venom, and the Toxo Vipers. Dr. Venom, yes. Yes. I would love to see Dr. Venom and Quinn and Scarface make it a 3-pack so I can be totally happy and grab those jokers. Eduardo, what's going on? Hi, based on this new Snake Eyes, it looks like any other Joe could show up in a variant costume for whatever type of mission. It seems like Classified is doing its own thing for this era. And I think Stalker would be a really good candidate for any kind of environment. Maybe they'll just go with the basic, obvious winter gear, but it seems like he'd be a good one for desert missions as well, Arctic missions, undersea, SEAL type activities. That'd be fun with him. Frustrated Fan Sports Show says, I can't wait for them to do Raptor. Me neither. I think it'd be really cool. And of course, I need to have him right around the time we get Armored Cobra Commander. The Pogo would be a really good small scale retail vehicle that would really be good, really cool to see on shelves. And I don't think that's something that needs to be too expensive. Maybe that's around the price point of the Televiper and the Trouble Bubble set, because it just needs to be a little bit bigger, but I think that would work. Robert, you'd be up for a Classified Desert Scorpion. Thank you. I think it'll be a really good figure. I hope I can get some pencil. I hope you do too, 80s Kid. He's a really cool figure. Mage TV. What's going on in Nashville? Just saying howdy while I'm between calls. Love your work, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for always checking out the channel. Repeater had a desert camo look too. Thanks, Ryan. So that would be another obvious choice for a desert look. And Repeater is a great figure. I liked his look, and I think he'd make for a really good whatever. And I think he's also a Night Force, so they've got a couple options with him. Sand Vipers are another one. Yes, thank you for that one. Pull them up. I knew I was missing another desert theme character for G.I. Joe. I was like, what are they? But yeah, those figures really had a cool look too. Let's go swing over to yojoe.com for this one. Yeah, like this whole look was really fun. I kind of like this era of G.I. Joe in terms of the designs and what they were doing with these figures. And I think this is another one that would make for a really great looking figure. And it kind of works in canon with that old school modern style of G.I. Joe back in the day. But those were fun. I like those figures too. The Winter Collector. Got a Snake Eyes and 2 Eels. I really dig the new Snake Eyes deco. I'm always down for desert camo. Bring on that Crimson Baroness. Nice. Glad you're looking forward to it. Rady's Kids from the 90s says Range Vipers look awesome. They do as well. Blake, if they made the blue Snake Eyes with red goggles, silver mask, and gray vest, I'd be all about it. Anyone else circa 1991? Oh yeah, I mean the Jason Snake Eyes variant, of course. I mean that is a needed, necessary Snake Eyes, and that would be a really fun look too. Because I just thought that color combination was so wild, and in the comic book it was like, here he comes, and here he is, and there he goes. So yeah, I would get that. It was a cool look too. A little color in there for Snake Eyes, and just having all those, the blues, the blacks, and just mixing all up and going nuts with it. Trying to find a good picture here. I think now I finally found one. Let's check it out in a little better detail. So for those of you who wonder what Blake and I are both talking about, this is that version of Snake Eyes. And yeah, it was really cool. I mean, the red visor is just a unique look for him. Silver mouthpiece area, black and random blue for no reason. It's just a cool, crazy look for him. And yeah, that was kind of the one I was thinking, why don't we get that one? Or the bladed one from the Bruise Brothers in the comic book, that outfit. I'd take that for sure. Stacy, what's going on with the shirt there, Jeffrey? I can't see it. How about now? Can you see the shirt? Sorry. I feel like you were with me on that joke, so yes. Robertson from Realms, I think Stun is a lot bigger than we generally think. I know I was surprised when I bought one. Yeah, they do seem to kind of scale them up a little bit bigger, so maybe that would be the case. We'll see. Kelly Cox, is it easy to swap heads on Classified? Do they use the same mechanics as Marvel Legends? Yeah, you can swap them out because they have swappable heads within the line itself. So yeah, because that Snake Eyes, the Zartan, you can swap the heads, so you can just a little heat, make it easier so you don't break the neck. The Winter Collector. Next HasLab, I want a Tomahawk. I'd have preferred this to the Dragonfly. That's going to be bigger, so I guess they're trying to get that budget up. And I think the smart move here was going with the cheaper HasLab, so then they can go, hey, we saved you money last time, so now they have to raise the price by $75 for this next bigger one. You should be on board. So hopefully that's what they're doing. Lefty Two Lions, BK, salutations. How you doing, good sir? Ski Raider, I sport a Tomahawk, a Whale too. Bring those vehicles on. Yeah, loving the vehicles so far. They've done an amazing job with them. I cannot wait to finally actually get my his tank. But yeah, I'm excited about what they're doing with the vehicles. Wait a minute. Is Raptor the guy in Cobra? That's the one with the bird wings? Yes. The absolute most ridiculous sounding Cobra. But he was fun for whatever reason. He was just a wild character, and somehow in the comic book, Larry Hama made him cool. And he made every character cool, but somehow getting the guy who dressed up like a hawk or an eagle was really cool in the comic book. And here's a blown up kind of blurry version, but I thought it was a really nice picture of him. That's Raptor, and he's hanging out with Big Boa and with Crocmaster. You see Jinx and Chuckles in the background. I think that's Mercer. It's so blurry. I know for sure it's Psych Out, but yeah, all wild, wacky Cobras. Bring them on for me. Only 48 backers away from unlocking Ripcord and finding out the next Dragonfly tier. What do you guys want to see for that tier? Are you hoping to see something cool, or just hoping that we get another cool variant of a figure that we want to see the classic version of at retail? Heck yeah, Ski Raider. Bring them on, Hasbro. With you guys. no Target sale in Massachusetts either earlier. So, Bobby, are you guys able to just go online? Because I feel like anytime they have those sales, I can go online, especially if my stores don't have what I'm looking for, like the spend 100 get 25 off sale. Are you able to get those? Because those are good. I don't know about those clearance. Maybe everybody just gobbling them up before they get there. I need that Cobra Commander fight with Serpentor, like the Civil War issues of the comic book. Yeah, Kelly, exactly. So I can have Zartan, take him out, do the thing. Winter Collector, missed out on the hiss, kicking myself for that one. Hopefully, people won't try to gouge you and you will be able to get one later because I don't want everybody to have to pay way too much for it. Kimmel, I missed it too. If it had been extended by 1 week, oh man, that sucks. I feel like maybe they could make them a little bit longer. I don't know why there's this rush when it takes so much longer for them to get to us. 80s kid from the 90s. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe's there. Charlie Hodges, do you think the Eels will be available in the future? Absolutely. They're not gonna. This isn't gonna be closing the door of the Eels. I imagine come the next HasLab or Hasbro Pulse sale, we're gonna see those figures eventually show up on the site again. No worries. It may just be a hard time to build an army of like 20, but yeah, we'll be able to see them. And speaking of Hasbro sales, let's check here real fast to see where we're looking at with the Dragonfly. Maybe we'll finally move it forward to funding before we're off on this one. 12,964. So it is moving. That's a good sign. Maybe by the end of the night, we'll see it there. So the Power Pulse day sales are going on right now on Hasbro Pulse. So you can get these figures for sale. So we got Falcon, we got Outback, Crimson Bat, Sergeant Slaughter, Mad Marauder, Barbecue, Cover Girl. They're on sale. Tiger Force, Commando. Lots of figures sold out at this point. I know a lot of you guys are trying to get the Crimson Guard. It's sold out still, but they may be coming back out. I don't understand this. How is Tomax sold out, but Zamon's still there? That's really wild. You can get that Great Storm Shadow and Great Spirit still. And let's see what else is still available on the sale. The Great Retro, Grunt, Stalker, outstanding figures. So those are what's available on the G.I. Joe front. But yeah, I think the Eels, to answer your question again, will be back. I put an alarm for the drops. That's how I missed the Eels, and I can't believe you could only order one. Yeah, it was really dumb. I don't think that was a great idea. Yes, we'll make sure they are. They'll hear from us. Even those of us that not get them, we'll want more of them. Yeah, I feel for sure they're going to do that. Frustrated Fan Sports Show. I was thinking about the tunnel wrap from G.I. Joe Renegades that came out with the Scout Machine. Oh, okay, I see. Well, I'm sure if they're like, variant heavy, we'll get to another version of tunnel wrap, probably Night Force and even Renegade look. 80s Kids wants to know, should I get Tiger Force Bazooka or wait for a regular release? It just depends. Do you like the Patriot variant or do you want the classic red version? I don't think, unlike, say, Outback, whose hair color changes mysteriously, there's a big difference. So you can pretend that Bazooka version is the road away version, but it's really up to you. Kimmel, 42 backers away now. Yep, getting closer. Lucky 2 Lions BK Cobra Eels was a surprise, but the pre-order was nerve-wracking after HP sold out. I understand why a retailer would want a Troop Builder as an exclusive, but it sucks for us. I'm glad it wasn't at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart would have been the oh no, or GameStop, even worse, because they would charge like $30 for the figure, and then they do a clearance sale where it was like, hey, now it's $25, and you still have to pay more. But yeah, I'm with you. Kidred, I've just been to Walmart and I found a Star Wars Black Series display kiosk thing. They have one of the Walmart exclusive ones, Jax, but no Purge Trooper. Interesting. That would be fun to see. 41 away from 13,000 and counting. And it's 754. It was 39 away. That's good. I like that. '80s Kid from the 90s. I can see Seinfeld with the new classified torpedo figures. That was a great episode of Seinfeld. I had to rewatch that. It was not coming immediately to mind here. Ryan, a local comic store, had the Quantum Wave in stock. That's cool because I haven't not seen any word or any news about that. So that's really cool. Kidger 1998 says, I also haven't found any of the DC Multiverse Dark Knight Trilogy figures. I didn't even know they were out in stores yet. Amazon's asking for $30 for Batman. Walmart and Target don't have any of those yet. That is not great. John, what's going on? Late to the party after missing your last few live streams. Your video on the Masters of Evil was awesome. Thank you for watching it. I had a lot of fun putting that one together. I've got a few more coming up, so stay tuned. And just in case anyone doesn't know, I'll be back on here tomorrow. It's at 8:05 talking about all the other stuff. I just want to get on here and talk about G.I. Joe real fast before I swing over and go to the Laos movie files where Jason and I are going to talk about The Flash. He watched it. I saw Secret Invasion preview for critics. It's amazing. So yeah, we'll talk about that real soon. Frustrated Fan Sports Show. Hit that like button, people. Thank you. Eduardo, when's the regular Commando coming out already? I'm itching to get them. I feel like you because it had that same deal with Outback, now Bazooka, and it's like, okay, I'm waiting not so patiently for my regular versions of these figures, but we know he's going to come. Maybe they'll show him before the end of the month. 38, getting there. Charlie Hodges, Army Builders should be easy to get. I'll start shouting. They definitely listened to us. A pen sword mindbender, we had to let them know. Even though I got mine, I still want all my fellow fans to get their stuff, just like I want my eels too. Exactly. I mean, it's not this thing of like, oh, I don't care, I got mine. I want everyone who wants Serpensor and Mindbender still to be able to get them. I don't like these quick sellouts for them, but hopefully they have some more. I figure by the end of the month, we're going to get that one last version of Mindbender and Serpensor drops again. So please stay tuned. Digital Diarrhea. Hey, glad I could finally make a live stream. I'm glad to see you here. Jason Snake Eyes. Hopefully I can still find that. The one with the hockey mask and all that good stuff. Of course, now I can't find them. I've been talking about them a long time, and I feel like we need to. Here it goes. This version, like with the hockey mask, you can see the little indents like a regular hockey mask. The red visor. That's the version of Snake Eyes. That's the Jason one. Is the Joe toy line based off of real people? 80s kids from the 90s, not necessarily. I know that some of the head sculpts are inspired by real people, but for the most part, they're just generic people that they came up with for the line. Eduardo, when is the regular Ricardo going to be shown? Right. It feels like we should see him soon. If not, I'm going to be frustrated. Exactly. Had that 12-inch Snake Eyes. My brother had signed a Stalker. Nice. I tried to convert I got some of those 12-inch versions to make 12-inch G.I. Joes. I have to show those to you guys soon because it was fun to make them. They're missing a lot of detail that I would want in a 12-inch figure now. But when I was cobbling them together and kit bashing them from military lines that Toys R Us would sell, I was like, oh, look, I found this piece of Mega Lady J. So that was kind of fun. Winter Collector. Figure I wish they do. The Crimson Guard Commander. Just take that trademark off of his chest. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I like to see him. I liked his look. Sci-Fi George. Valorverse has male and female Desert Troopers in a matching gear pack. That would be great backup for Snake Eyes and Dusty. Thank you. That's fun. I'm going to track that down now. Ski Raider. Don't forget Crystal Ball. Dude, I cannot forget Crystal Ball. He was too ridiculous and insane not to get as a Cobra. I mean, as a figure. It's ridiculous. 80s Kids. Will we get another release of Flint? We better. I need a retro version of Flint. And maybe if they make him cool enough, I get an Echo Warriors because I'm a sucker for Flint. I want a Desert Trooper version of Flint. So he could be another one they throw in there. 36 now. Jericho Savage, Docker Airborne. I'm going to cross as many fingers as I can to get those guys. Doc for next tier with litter. With litter. Oh, man. With what word is it? To evaluate wounded troops. Let me know what that was. I'm not quite sure if I understood what you're saying. Kendra, 1998. Speaking of Big Bo and the 80s G.I. Joe toy line, the original we're going to do Rocky. Yes, Balboa figure. Even appeared in one of the comic books as a bio. There's even a prototype out there. I feel like we should get Rocky. I mean, Rocky. And not Dwayne Johnson, but, the great Italian stallion. The Winter Collector. 80s kid, we're supposed to be getting a Tiger Force Flint. Hopefully with that Ricondo mold, and I will swap out the parts as needed to create the version of Flint that I actually want. Can find a way to get the Dragonfly. Good job, 80s kid. Kelly Cox. Airborne and Crazy Legs would be good for the next tier. I'm really worried we're going to get that next tier as Night Force Crazy Legs, but I really want the red, that really bright red and gray combination. Tiger Force, not Transformers. The Weekend Gamer. Yes, Raptor and Crystal Ball were a few of the wacky Cobras. I feel like there was a period of time where they were just like, what can we do that's just absurd? And before somebody starts calling us out. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I was just at that point where it's like the wackier the better for Cobra Troopers, but I have a real soft spot for them. Mike Powers, late to the party. Snake Eyes is a bit overdone, but he was and still is my favorite. He would be a good display with Dusty and use some of the Valorverse Desert Commandos for Snake Eyes and Dusty to lead. I think that would probably be good use now for Valorverse random commandos. And I can have them get killed all the time and Dusty and Snake Eyes being the only one that survives. Ski Raider, the other twin sold out for the other one, felt the same. The other twin sold out and the other one felt it. Yes, I'm with you. I got you. Tiger Force. Jeff W., thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. From one Jeff to another. I really appreciate that. Went to my first Joe Fest last weekend. Awesome. Great way to celebrate turning 50. Met Sergeant Slaughter. Nice. That's cool. I met him at AwesomeCon kind of randomly. He was, doing the booth or whatever. And he was, I think, going back to his booth. And I said, Sarge, what's going on? It was like my childhood was coming right at me. And it was really cool to see him, shake his hand, and thank him for all those great, pleasant memories back in the day, and it's so cool to see him in person. I hope your experience with him was just as nice. So much vintage Joe goodness. Valorverse stole the show, which is ironic, right? So many great reveals. Hasbro should do a Vamp Mark II, a clutch desert thing. Yeah, okay, so lots and lots of desert ideas for these G.I. Joes. And yeah, I would definitely want clutch, and that would be a really cool way to work in that brown tan outfit of his. So good idea. John Mark, did they say anything about the eel in Canada? Oh, I don't know about that. I haven't read that at all. We'll have to see. Weekend Gamer, Pilot Scarlet will be a tier on the Dragonfly HasLab. I'm calling it. I really hope not, because I feel like Pilot Scarlet should be piloting a jet, not being the co-pilot of the Dragonfly. Really hoping we just get some more troops and cool figures. I don't need a variant of Scarlet in that way. Winter Collector, 80s kid, the Tiger Force Bazooka is a great figure too. Yeah. I mean, he looks good. And I feel like if that was the only bazooka we ever got, I'd be too upset getting it because his colors outside of that Cringer green and orange would be too terrible, but it's cool. Lefty Two Lions BK, smash that like button. Thank you. Dark Knight 297. Hey, Jeff. Dang, I'm late tonight. Did I miss a lot? Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. I mean, we talked. I'll definitely have the replay up, but this was just talking G.I. Joe. I'll be back here tomorrow talking about everything else on the standard regular live. And that reminds me, it is getting to that point where I need to start winding this one down. So, Jason, I can queue up our last movie files discussion. But before I go, let's break down this last figure, the one that we all wanted and had very little success in tracking out. Talking about that Cobra eel, and this figure sculpted by Paul Harding was really a great reveal. When they announced this, I was really looking forward to seeing how it was going to turn out, even better than I thought. Really great looking job on this sculpt. I mean, all this detail, the rebreather, the mask. You can actually see his insidious, sinister eyes. Very cool. I love this shot by Shooting the Galaxy, seeing them coming up like they're about to go on the beachfront, go on to the tactical battle platform and start invading the Joe base there. This is where he's gearing up. I really like this shot too. That's cool to see all the accessories. Even got the knife standing at attention there. That's really cool. And the harpoon gun, the helmet, and then this backpack, which we can see a little bit better here. That's really cool too. I mean, these are really great figures as always. And another really cool shot seeing this guy. I mean, this is a really fun figure. And I should have found that other one where Torpedo's hiding from them. That was another cool one as well. But yeah, really good stuff. Ski Raider, the found cards and names and some personalities are based off some folks Larry Hammond knew. Some are. Yep. Kelly Cox, that 3-pack of Vipers is taking forever to come down in price again. It's still over 100. That's not a great deal for that set at all. I hope Hasbro Pulse restocks more Sergeant Stalker figures. They will probably right after the sale ends. Remember, Chuckles and Snake Eyes, worst fan theory ever. I'd never heard that one, but that would be wild. Eduardo says, I'd like to see Ambush. Pretty please. He'd be fun. He was involved in that whole Cobra or war. And Trucial, forgot what the name was in the comic books, made up place. But yeah, he was really cool in that. And that was the one where Cool Breeze was around too. So yeah. Tiger Force Rakana looks awesome. I think he does look cool. Robbers Infinite Realms. 87 Cobras nearly ended my collecting. They were wild, so I understand why not everybody loved them. But yeah. Ski Raider, Psych Out was on the other side. Yeah. Digital Diarrhea. I think they'll reorganize the next tiers of the Dragonfly to pump up interest. Give us something we might want more earlier, because I don't see the Dragonfly maxing out the tiers. I think for sure Night Force Ripcord didn't really push the needle, so I think that's why he's dragging. I feel like if it was Doc or Airborne in classic colors, this thing would be on a tier 2 by this point for sure. But I think it's because it's the variant. We've seen these variants at Target or Walmart, and then we have to wait a little bit longer for the regular version. I think that's fine with exclusives, but I don't know if that's really the way to go with a tier on a HasLab. So we'll see how that works out. Kidron, I think the Cobra Ferret, Snowcat, maybe they can do it as a general release for vehicles. Maybe. Cobra could be for around 40. Maybe I can't say that about the Snowcat. Yeah. I heard someone suggest Zap for a Dragonfly tier, and I like the idea. In the comics, he was a backup pilot. He was. And he will only require a new head sculpt. I would be down for Zap. I feel like him, Colonel Hawk would be really great additions. People shouldn't be too upset. I feel like, this whole deal is fun. And I don't know if you're a G.I. Joe collector who's like, I don't need Wild Bill and Dragonfly. If you'd be that upset missing out on Zap, Short Fuse, Colonel Hawk, Grand Slam, etc. The weird Cobra figures from back in the day was explained as the mentality of Cobra Commander losing his mind, says Kelly. 80s Kid, who do I think is a better Cobra leader? Commander Serpentor? No question, Cobra Commander, even though Serpentor should be smarter. Kidrick, one of the different G.I. Joe toy lines, they did a Viper that was covered in camo like a Gal suit. Yeah. James, see you tomorrow. I'll be back on here. Ski Raider, Austin Streams. Thanks, catch y'all tomorrow night. Peace, man. Fun. Shoulders a little off and off, little low and off the torso. Only thing that looks bad on the eel. I wondered that's a posing thing. If that's something they could, if you just pose them back up right, you'd see it. Did you ever watch G.I. Joe Renegades? Every episode they were introduced like, let me see G.I. Joe. By the end of the week, give the nicknames like Tracker, Law and Order, Shipwreck, Snow Job. I have watched some. I have not seen enough to see all the different guest stars. I did watch one with Snow Job. That was really fun. Dark Knight 297 says, would love a Doc and Lifeline 2-pack set. That would be great. I would definitely not be upset about that one. Sci-Fi George, I want Alpine, Doc, Jinx, and Lifeline in their classic looks. With you for sure. Ryan Daly, the Eels maybe want a Cobra Night landing raft. Yeah. So you can load them up with that. I'm with you. Rock and Roll figure looks awesome. He does. Sean Washington, random question. Didn't Stalker outrank Duke in the comics? I seem to recall that he assisted Hawk in recruiting G.I. Joe members. I always viewed him as 1B to Hawk, 1A and rank. So you're definitely a comic book fan, because to me, Stalker was right there. And I love that about the comic, that the black dude was right behind Hawk in terms of leading, and he would lead like half the missions in the early run of the comics. He was the leader in 6 and 7. He was leading Gung Ho, Breaker, and Snake Eyes on that mission where they encountered Dr. Venom and Scarface. So for sure, I'm with you. I don't care where they say Duke is. I would probably not put Duke and Stalker on the same missions, just because Stalker is the default leader to me when Hawk's not around. It's from G.I. Joe the movie. Since Chuckles almost said nothing, and we hardly see Snake Eyes after the open. Some fans said Chuckles was Snake Eyes. He was captured because he was incompetent and got caught by the Royal Guard. That was one of those, come on, there's no way Snake Eyes is getting caught. That was crazy. Henry G. People don't seem to be too interested in army building the Dragonfly like they were the Hiss. I think that makes sense, because with the Hiss, you can just stack and put them, on one shelf and have like 3 or 4 on there, whereas the Dragonfly at best you get 2. So for sure. And I think with the army building capabilities of the Hiss tank, where you have a Hiss tank driver who drives all the different Hisses, you don't need 4 or 5 Wild Bills piloting your Dragonflies. Digital Diarrhea also have to remember, a lot of people were getting COVID stimulus when the Hiss was launched. So if you really didn't need it to live, it was like a free Hiss. Yeah, that's probably true. Jer Bear, Doc with a stretcher as a tier would build hype. I'm with you for sure. Talk Avenger. You have to remember he was missing Sun Tzu DNA. Hopefully, I channeled Dr. Mindbender just right in that. You know they're doing Arctic Snake Eyes in white with a polarized visor like the bat, and I'm probably going to buy that figure too. JT the Grind. 2 versions of Bazooka and no Alpine. Seriously, I don't know what's going on with that. I remember when Super 7 announced they were doing Ultimate G.I. Joe figures and people asked about the Cobra Commander's hooded head if they were going to do that, but people thought because they thought it was racist, maybe, which is so absurd. I'm telling you, I've never seen the Cobra Commander hood, the snow troopers in Empire Strikes Back as remotely racist. They just look cool and they're the bad guys. So if they get shot up, who cares? Anyway, so guys, hoping we get another Firefly. We are getting another Firefly retro version coming soon. So guys, so for now, thank you all for hanging out with me in the chat. Like I said, this was just to talk about G.I. Joe. I'll be back tomorrow at the normal time, 8:05, and I'm going to break down everything else. And we want to talk some more G.I. Joe. We definitely can on that chat. But for now, you want to follow me over to Lyle's Movie Files. I'm going to be talking about Secret Invasion, The Flash, and all that good stuff in between. So for now, signing off. Thank you so much for watching. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.